easy go.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 51 comes at you live and direct. My name is Oosh Juice, and right next to me is my boy, JSCO fucking Maine, the man himself, brother. How are we doing this week?
Oh man, a lot of stuff to talk about this week, man. But we doing good, Oos. What about yourself, brother?
Doing good, man. Just trying to catch up on all this wrestling, you know what I mean? Not trying to catch up, but trying to just piece together everything.
Oh man, that's just so much to talk about, brother. It's better that we get our opinions fresh off this live for sure, man. Like we gotta get all that stuff out of the way, man. But we're gonna start off with that Monday Night Raw with that CM Punk promo, brother. How did you like that one? I mean, it was just straight emotion. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't no bitch, bro. But damn it, I shed a couple of tears on that one because that promo was so fucking good, man. And I love the way that he addressed the UFC. That it was kind of scary for him to get in there and all that stuff because you gotta really think about it. This guy was a wrestler first. Those guys in UFC, they're fucking straight up savages. And for him to admit that, oh wow, man, it was some shit to get in there. I give it up for CM Punk, man. That promo was fucking amazing. The whole cancer story about his buddy and all that. I mean, he just solid, bro. Solid with Drew McIntyre coming out too. Made me think that it was a work, his injury, but it looks legit. And hopefully he's back in time for this. I think he's gonna come back, and he's gonna come back for Drew. What did you think about this whole promo?
I think the entire promo in itself, like you said,
seemed like a work, right?
It seemed like work, but the raw emotion that Punk shows in these promos, it's crazy, man. It draws you in as a viewer, and it makes you want to believe everything that he says, because a lot of the stuff that he's saying is true. Like you said, you mentioned about him going to the UFC and him having the guts to go ahead and do that and leaving back in 2011, I think. Everything has a plan within itself for him to kind of let the audience know that irregardless of the situation, you know what I mean, never count CM Punk out. And obviously tore his tricep in the Royal Rumble. He's out. He's the length of time he's supposed to be out is 3 to 4 months. Gonna miss Mania. Hopefully he doesn't miss Mania. But definitely will be in time for SummerSlam and Money in the Bank. We just got to sit back and just, let things play out. I did like the way that he was written off screen. Drew went ahead and stomped on the tricep and made it even more believable. I mean, definitely going to be a big letdown not having him on the road for the next couple of months, but in due time, you know what I mean? We look at the whole Cody Rhodes situation and build up to him coming back, and the same could go for Punk. I mean, all in all, it was just a crazy way to go ahead and see that promo from the beginning to the very end of it.
Exactly, man. Well, bro, it was like less wrestling. It was more talk, which was good, and all this because it was just right after what happened from the Royal Rumble. I actually like that Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins segment. And the whole thing where Seth Rollins is like, nah, don't go for Roman's title, go for the blue collar title, everything, bro. Where he said that the whole Hollywood Hogan title, the political title, the ones where people would, it was just like real as fuck, man. Just to hear Vince hear that shit, he would have been furious. But fuck what that old man thinks. He's already fucked. But just hearing all that stuff, it's just wow. We are in a different era.
Right.
We are in a different era for sure, man.
On a different era, and we got to see Cody Rhodes go ahead and not commit himself to the World Heavyweight Championship, but he went ahead and took it in and thought about it, and obviously went to SmackDown and had a moment there, which we'll talk about later on the podcast. Also in this episode of Raw, we had Gunther taking on Kofi Kingston for the IC title, which he successfully defended. Kofi and Xavier Woods ended up having like a little breakdown afterwards. You know what I mean? Trying to find themselves again. We're talking about the New
Yeah.
Day, who at one point
Bro, at one
was
point I thought fucking Big E was gonna come out because Gunther and the Imperium attacked everybody like they attacked New Day, and I'm just thinking, oh shit, Big E's gonna come back, and so wild that the rumors right now are talking about if he should come back. He was like really thinking about if he should come back, and I think that's crazy because they probably did have plans for him to come back. I was thinking the Rumbles,
I was thinking
but that didn't
too,
happen.
but a
Hey,
neck injury is
real
crazy.
quick, ooze, cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother. My man. Uh,
What are you saying, my brother?
another thing we had happen on this show, we had
Oh,
we
you know
had
what? Before you say anything, man, Jay beating Bronson Reed just shows that this guy is definitely he's gonna win a major title this year for sure. I
mm,
shit you not. If it's the Intercontinental or it's the World, let's go, man.
we uh we got to see that match, and it was crazy because Jey Uso obviously not supposed to. I wouldn't say not supposed to, but wrestling against Bronson Reed. From the outside looking in, Bronson Reed should be smashing Jey Uso, but
Uh,
Jey Uso, this is main event Jey Uso we're talking about. You know what I mean?
yes,
Uh,
sir. That's why, like, when he did come out, I was just like, oh shit, man. Like, oh, this week coming up and stuff. But yeah,
right.
man, just to see that it's something we've been waiting for, because it's been kind of dry. He's been going
Mhm.
after the same guys like Bronson Reed, Ricochet, and all these. You know what I mean? Like it's about time we get a legit contender. But yeah, that's for next week. We'll talk about that one next week.
Most
But
def.
the main event, brother, Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn.
Drew McIntyre versus Sammy. Sammy, Sami Zayn. I remember this time last year, Elimination Chamber was the hottest name in wrestling. You know, they're getting ready to wrestle Roman
Yes,
Reigns.
sir.
A year later, I'm not saying he's back to where he once was before, but it went to show that whatever's hot in WWE is you got to strike. What is it? What is it saying? You got to strike the iron when it's hot. And I think what happened to Sammy is after him and KO split up, everything kind of just went downhill. Now he's taking L's from Drew, not disregarding Drew McIntyre for the talent that he is. But man, I wish there was a lot more better for Sami Zayn right now, man. I really
Also, I
do.
will say too from people like um what's his name Vince Russo and all these other guys saying that guys like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens would never amount to shit. Basically, they look like trash bums. They don't look like a wrestler. This is a discussion for another time, but man, I just got to say it on this podcast because I just so happen to go back to those clips where it comes to it's a show. It's got something with wrestling. It's like basically like what do you call it? Shoots. It's
Wrestling
with this
shoots, yeah.
fucking midget guy, this white midget guy, and
Hornswoggle.
nah, he's actually like a host. He ain't nothing to do with wrestling, but I forgot his name. He works with Kevin Nash on the podcast.
Conrad Thompson.
Nah, with Kevin Nash.
Oh, I'm not too sure. I don't
Yeah,
watch.
he's
Click
like
this, right? That's his podcast. Click
he's,
this.
he's a ball licker to Kevin Nash, big time, Big Mark. He's like some old white guy. Nothing to do with wrestling, but he likes to talk his shit and whatever. But yeah, I just brought that. I had to bring that up. But anyways, besides
No, I
that,
feel you.
we'll get back to that. We'll get into NXT with Mellow Trick Mellow Gang versus LWO. That was a
Yo.
fire ass match. Who's
It was, and you know what's even crazier is LWO. I don't know why, but I'm a huge fan of fucking Joaquin Wild, man. That
Oh,
spot that he
definitely, man.
does.
I could definitely see him leave LWO and do something or be the head of that. Not the head of the, like leader or anything, but like just somebody that possibly gets a title shot or does something. But man, all the way from TNA, bro. I mean, DJZ,
bro.
wow,
DJZ,
it's wild, bro.
DJZ's crazy, bro. Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro too is not doing such a bad job.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I know that we were on NXT, but there's one more thing I wanted to bring up about Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Rather, we got to see the signing of Andrade to Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yes, sir, we did. Yeah.
What are we thinking about Andrade on the main roster?
You know what, man? That's actually a good move because that's exactly what he wanted. He never saw himself as a rookie, and
Right.
you know, the wrestling speaks for himself. That's why I was a big fan. But when he rejected an offer to go back to NXT, I was kind of like, you know what, fuck this guy, because he could have played business, especially as woman, literally in WWE. But he did what he did. My thing was just like, yeah, it was kind of disrespectful, especially the Vince whole thing. Yeah, they're getting rid of all Triple H's big talent, so kind of like, you know, I don't, no fault on him at all.
Mm-hmm.
No fault at all, because he's back home and he's where he's supposed to be.
Yep.
Monday Night Raw, baby, for sure. And
Monday
like,
Night Raw, bro.
you know what I mean? He could have easily been on SmackDown with Charlotte, but man, that's better that, you know, he's doing his own thing.
100%, bro. And it's a good thing that he's back where he belongs, like we've been saying, where he belongs.
Yeah.
In WWE, not in the minor league down in AEW.
Yes, sir.
But let's hop back over to NXT. We also had during this NXT we had Trick and Carmelo, not Trick, but we had Roxanne picking up the win on NXT to go ahead and solidify herself. To solidify herself in the to wrestle for the NXT Women's Championship.
Which we're gonna get into, man. We're gonna get into Vengeance Day as well. So you know, this is all good stuff. This is all stuff for that pay-per-view. And we're definitely gonna get into that, but you know, it was just basically for the pay-per-view. I did like seeing Alexis King versus Ridge Holland, bro. You know, to see Alexis King going against the big guys and actually just getting himself in there with top competition. It's nice to see, man. Like, think about it, man. This guy 2 years ago, he was jobbing out over there in AEW. Didn't have no fucking character. Was teaming up with that one dude, right? That Edge wrestled recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like been, you know, compared to right now, like he even said he was surprised. Like he's just like, I come out to a chair going down sideways, and I got a character, and I'm a heel, and man, I mean, I'm happy for him, for real, man, because, you know, rest in peace to the loose cannon. But man, it's awesome, man. He's looking down at his boy, and he's doing his thing.
His boy is definitely where he needs to be to become successful, and that's at the WWE Performance Center in NXT. You know, yeah, not too much. We also at the ending of NXT, we got to see a face-off between Trick and Ilya Dragunov. Behind Trick Williams is a kind of sketched out looking Carmelo Hayes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
Sketched out. You know, we'll get into that NXT, but one thing too that, you know, was just so suspicious was him coming out to that match with Trick. Like, didn't Trick say, "Hey, I'm gonna handle Dragunov"? We'll get into that, but that's it's just like, bro, this guy was so sus. Mm-hmm. We already knew it. We knew what the fuck was gonna happen. One more thing I would like to point out for NXT was Lola Vice going over Elektra Lopez after Elektra Lopez exposed her ass with that hot ass promo, brother. That was actually good, and she deserved the win too, because you know, she did win that contract, and you know where Elektra Lopez is headed. She said it's
back to Friday Night
SmackDown. Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and roll over to the next night on AEW Dynamite.
You know what? Yeah. This is all you. I did see it, but I had nothing to write down. I will say Mox versus Jeff Hardy and fucking Swerve versus RVD caught me off guard. Those two matches caught me off guard.
It did, bro. Jeff Hardy, obviously, or coincidentally turning heel after the match, flipping off John
Mm-hmm.
Moxley. Are we gonna get the heel Hardys
Nice.
in
Hell yeah.
AEW?
You know what, bro? Either Willow comes back or fucking Jeff Hardy comes back
Brother
as that
Nero.
old. You know, man, I was a big fan of him in TNA where he did that whole. Remember he turned that title purple,
Yep.
and man, bro, the song too was fucking badass, bro. Like that's when I did like Jeff Hardy, but the only thing that sucked was that TNA they didn't do drug testing, so this guy was all peeled out, even worse.
Yep.
And
Look at
in
Victory
WWE.
Road, man. Victory Road incident with Jeff Hardy and Sting.
Yeah, with Sting.
You know, crazy.
And not
crazy.
only that, I just realized because I was watching some crazy shit on YouTube. Not that I've seen crazy shit before, but this one was wild. I had no idea that fucking they sent Jeff Hardy to New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom, whatever. I don't know what the fuck it was, Wrestle Kingdom 4 or whatever it was. He wrestled one of their guys, and this guy was on drugs. And literally, that was their thing where they ended their relationship with TNA. I had no fucking idea
That's crazy.
that even took place. But
Yo,
yeah.
I mean, unless like we've been talking, we talked about this last year too.
Yeah,
Jeff Hardy, you know, he's a fucking walking contradiction. You know, he had a problem in TNA in WWE. Then he went to TNA, had a fucking problem there with drugs. Came back to WWE, had a problem with drugs and alcohol again. Walked off.
and the same shit with AEW, bro. Like
not even
Damn.
a fucking like 2 or 3 months with AEW.
Yeah,
he gets a fucking DUI. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
DWI, DUI. Dude is a walking contradiction. He's trouble to. He is an endangerment to himself and the people that he works with. And bro, we could go on and on about this Jeff Hardy. Fucking,
let's get on Matt Hardy too, man, because he ain't no saint either, bro.
He's an enabler, man.
And some bullshit, man.
Bro,
Whole
Matt
stuff with
Hardy's
his wife, and I'm glad that Rebby Hart, whatever her name is, what's her name? Rebel Hardy or Rebel
Rebby, yeah.
I'm glad that she got that divorce because man, I could already see that Matt Hardy is toxic as fuck, bro.
Bro, he's an enabler, man. Like,
yeah,
when his brother was getting in trouble, he was. I get it, you want to defend your brother all the time and whatnot, but like, you know, after so many times you fuck up, bro. Jeff Hardy has fucked up way more times than
and
he
he
should.
still like defends his bullshit, man.
Right, bro. Like I said, bro, I said this on Twitter. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy make millions of fucking dollars, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
An Uber from a bar home shouldn't be more than about $20. You know what I mean? If he's making all this fucking money, bro, he should have money to catch an Uber or, you know what I mean? To
There
go ahead.
you go, man. We talked about this. Remember, we're talking about it with the Usos, where I think Jimmy or Jay got caught. I think
Jimmy got
caught with this bullshit, and yeah, it's just like, man, you gotta take this shit serious, and it's not fair to the fans because there's kids that look up to these guys, and there's fans that are real obsessed with this shit, that they look up to these personalities, and for you to fucking, you know, screw it up with the pills and all this bullshit. But let's get on to SmackDown, Oos. We got Logan Paul starts off SmackDown. Bro, Logan Paul's promos are fucking disgusting, man. This guy, he reminds me kind of like Drew. I like what they're doing with Drew too, like where he could just say whatever he wants. He talks like a person, he doesn't talk like a wrestler. You know what I mean? Like he talks like a real, you know, like a real being.
Like a real person, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing with Vince. Like it was all scripted bullshit promos, and now we're seeing a different side of the WWE, especially with guys like Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre. They're saying whatever the fuck they want. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins.
Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are two of the biggest examples, dude. Like
what we heard too, the pop, bro. I'm just saying, we're gonna get into that Roman promo, bro, and I'm telling you, he fucking wiped the floor with Seth Rollins. Let's just get right into it, Oos. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes, dog. Right here, this guy was spitting facts on Rollins, man, wearing his wife clothes, and him beating everybody for that WWE championship. So meaning that World Heavyweight Championship doesn't mean jack shit Roman Reigns called it, bro. Like he exposed it. He doesn't even have to work what Rollins works. He gets paid even more for not even showing up. Like, man, all this is there on that damn promo. I don't know who's, but fucking Roman chewed his ass up. And that part where he said, he mentioned Seth Rollins and he said, no pop. Yeah,
No
man,
pop.
because no one gives a fuck.
No one gives a fuck, dude. That World Heavyweight Championship. It's good for the Raw brand.
It
But
is.
we know where the
not,
A title
it's
is.
like
bro.
the phony title, bro. Like it's
It is.
it's kind of like remember back in the day where they had the WWE title, the world title. The world title actually meant something in the aggression era. Where you know when Triple H was holding it and
Yep.
JBL had the WWE undisputed title. Like you still saw the world championship better than the WWE title for one time, only because Triple H made it that.
Bro,
You know what
when
I mean?
Triple H was running with the World Heavyweight Championship, that title was the most
He looked like the
prestigious.
man, didn't he, bro?
He did, and you knew it was the most prestigious because that's where you had your Randy Orton storyline, you had your Batista thumbs down storyline. They were all going after that title.
Oh, dude.
At the time, SmackDown was the B show, and the
It was.
WWE
And
Championship
that
was.
WWE title, they mean shit, bro. Big Show had it. That's all we gotta talk. That's all we gotta say. Big Show had it. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Kurt Angle had it for the longest time.
I think honestly, the only real person that kind of gave legitimacy to that title was probably
But I would say
probably
Batista,
The Undertaker, in a sense, not
Undertaker.
really.
Edge,
Eddie Guerrero.
I think Edge and Eddie Guerrero.
Edge and Eddie Guerrero, but no one had a world title reign like Triple H.
Yeah, you know
A
what?
meaningful one.
You know, one thing at that point too was like Randy didn't want to work SmackDown. Shawn Michaels didn't want to work SmackDown.
Triple
So
H didn't want to work Tuesdays. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
so that's like they did that whole trade where they had the Dudley Boys traded and all that bullshit with Triple H, and it's just like no, like how do you want these two brands to work out when certain people don't want to go? And I'm glad that this era is different. Like you could go anywhere. It doesn't matter your name value or whatever. You're going
Right.
to SmackDown, you're going to Raw. Let's make both brands badass.
Mm-hmm.
We love to see Meechin and some Tiffany Stratton. Great fucking signing for SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton to SmackDown, bro. That's awesome. We saw some Naomi action too
Yep.
with that signing.
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin drinking.
You know, another thing we had happen on SmackDown that I want to talk about a little bit was Bailey choosing to go after Io Sky.
Oh,
for
that was
the
a nice
championship.
segment, brother.
Nice segment. I mean, it's been anticipating since Kairi Sane returned, since Asuka joined Damage Control, that Bailey was on her way out. You know, it just had to be the right moment, and I think WWE did the right job by capitalizing on Bailey winning the Royal Rumble to have her separate from Damage Control and going ahead and go head to head with Io Sky. Now
It was nice that she learned the language too. It was a nice fucking spot,
crazy
bro.
promo, right?
I liked it.
The one thing that it's interesting now that's going to tie into this whole thing is obviously Bailey is going to be going to WrestleMania alone. Will she have Dakota Kai backing her up, or is Dakota Kai going to stick alongside Damage
I
Control?
think that's the one that's gonna come out to help her when they have. I still think they're gonna be called Damage Control. You think so?
I think so, but I think it's going to be good. There's going to be somebody else, and I'm hoping. I'm not saying I'm hoping, but I'm trying to not hold on to hope. But if Sasha Banks ends up being the aid for Bailey, that's gonna hit like crack in the 80s, bro. Seth taking the hit tonight on Raw, most definitely, you know.
That's a good
crazy
sign.
spot.
That's a good sign too.
Mm-hmm. It's a good sign that he'll be ready. But let's get into the, like you said, the meat and potatoes. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and The Rock. You know, the most trending topic in the world right now, actually. Nobody is talking about anything in regards to professional wrestling or sports right now. But they are talking about The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Cody.
Hold on. Hold on, we forgot one huge fucking thing on this SmackDown episode, and you should have easily talked about this, but I will mention it since it's on my notes. Sorry, man. We're gonna talk about the big shit we're talking about right now with The Rock, Cody, and Roman. But one thing for certain is the Final Testament, and I call Lashley's crew. It's Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Did you see that? Rest in peace to Angelo Dawkins shorts. They're gone. He's wearing tights.
Gone.
He's wearing tights.
He's wearing
now,
tights.
God
Angelo Dawkins has dropped the and one basketball shorts, and
he still looks goofy, but hey, at least he can drop them fucking long ass shorts.
Those shorts were fucking, they're a fucking eyesore for a minute.
Horrible.
It looked like he just woke up. You know what I'm saying?
But you're right, Oos. We saw Roman, the head of the table. We saw Cody Rhodes come out, huge pop. We see Cody Rhodes talk about this certain individual that is very familiar with Roman Reigns, and then we get that fucking crazy ass pop with The Rock coming out. And people decide to boo it after, which is crazy.
Let's talk about that situation. I really want to get into that situation. Now, we talk about a match that people have been wanting to watch for years, bro.
Yeah,
for years. Every time Roman buries a person that he has a feud with, always the anticipation of who's next. And we had guys like Lesnar, we had guys like Cena, we had guys like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, these memorable feuds. But there was always one that lingered on so much that we never really could get. And it was because it got pushed back because The Rock's schedule, The Rock's, he wasn't in ring shape, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I remember that one.
He
wasn't in ring shape.
He wasn't in ring shape. And then we finally get it. We finally get The Rock versus Roman Reigns.
A year later, and the pop was crazy. I popped. Everyone was marking out for it.
Everybody did. But then it's a case of the right guy, just the wrong time, I guess. For me personally,
that is because remember CM Punk when he had that lengthy reign. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's
got ended by The Rock.
Almost the same thing, but just different.
Different.
We're in the same bullshit. It's like Daniel Bryan. It's like all mixed in one, but with Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock. So we got three guys right now. I wish CM Punk wasn't injured because right now CM Punk would be even in the mix also. But I know one way to resolve it, and they're not going to do it. It should have been Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber 1-on-1 for the WWE title, and Cody getting that win. And head of the table match. You don't even need to be fucking title, bro. Head of the table. Who's the real head of the table? The Rock versus Roman. Still main eventing. Still could happen, but why? It doesn't need to be the fucking title.
It doesn't.
It does not have to be the title.
We could have
just put Cody in the triple threat match, bro.
Right. Would have been perfect. Would have made sense, but
King Resco says, why the fuck would you have this guy go back to back like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan and whoever the fuck else?
Great fucking point.
Right? And then it's just like a complete waste to just be like, oh no, we'll just give it to The Rock. You know
that's why I said, the right guy, the wrong time. You just had Cody Rhodes win a back-to-back Royal Rumble. You had him point at Roman Reigns directly after the match.
Yeah.
And although people were kind of like, Cody, Cody shouldn't have won. Cody was the right guy to win it, and right now is the right time for Cody to go and win the world title. I'm tired of Roman Reigns having these fucking pop in, pop out appearances, 3 matches a year.
Bro, you said it right there, bro. And you're ultimate fucking Roman fan, the Uso fan. Like I'm with you, man, too. But at the same time, it's just like you're just tired of these Brock Lesnar's, bro. You're tired,
Roman,
let's go, bro.
Roman was the biggest advocate, saying this guy Brock Lesnar, he's a part-time, and then he goes. I get it, his body's worn out, especially after fighting leukemia, and I get that. But bro, if you're gonna be the world champion, and you're only appearing every month or so, bro, drop the title. There's no sense in you carrying it when people pay money to go and watch these shows live to see the world champion. But if we can't even get that, that makes us feel disappointed. You know, there's no
You
point
know
in
what?
having them
That's why
the
I'm
world
like,
champion.
man, they need Okada right now, brother, more than anything, because this is a guy that could change it up for any fucking brand. And actually, he is the Cody Rhodes of New Japan, if you think about it, man. Like,
He is, dude. He's the golden
that's
child over there, and
damn, man. Like,
for him to leave New
well,
Japan was
you
a
know
big
what?
step.
TNA had him before was wild, and what they made him to be back in the day was bullshit. But just to see him now, motherfucking New Japan wrestling Rainmaker coming to WWE is wild, bro.
It's wild. It's wild to think about because we talk about how WWE before the Triple H era took over, the treatment of their international stars, the Japanese stars, was bullshit. And then you got Triple H back in the range. And what happened when Triple H came back? We had another Oscar World Title run. We have Shinsuke Nakamura into this totally different persona. We have Akira Tozawa getting TV time. You know, it just goes to show the Kabuki Warriors are now tag team champions. It's incredible. We've got people cutting promos in Japanese on WWE TV. You know?
I mean, it's changed, bro. The landscape has
Landscape's
changed, but wow, like
what
you know
a
what I
time
mean?
for him to come. It
Not
would be
even
right
to
now.
points where you know. I always mention Vince, like, oh man, he'd be pissed at this and that. And it's funny, man, to look back at that. The youngin fans, they don't know that shit because we know it too well. Oh my god,
we know it too well.
Yeah. Vengeance Day, brother.
Let me talk about Vengeance Day. Let me tell you the greatness in the match that we got to see in the opening match, the Wolf Dogs versus Trick and Mello. Braun Breaker almost breaking his fucking neck running the ropes. You know, I get he's one of the fastest guys in the ring, but man,
Right.
you know, almost broke his neck. The Wolf Dogs entrance, bro, on motorcycles was crazy to me. I liked it. What are we thinking about that opening match between the Wolf Dogs and
Oh man, that shit was wild, bro. The fucking crowd was hyped up. We got Whoop the Trick. We got fucking Mello, Trick Mello Gang. I mean, this shit's wild. This is like the smartest booking. This is the best that you can get rather than what we've known NXT from back in the day. Remember when we had more fucking stars?
Right.
But this will do. This will do because this is the beginning of the match. It went wild, bro. Like everything. Straight NXT style from back in the day. And then that wild finish where fucking Braun Breaker hits a spear on Mello, and you see how fucking Trick got out of the ring and all this and tried to break it up after like that. That just seemed kind of sketchy. All that happened, but yeah, we got to see the new champs, the Wolf Dogs, get that Dusty Cup.
Get that Dusty Cup, baby.
Hey, you know what? This sets up for something because Braun's going to Raw, which we saw tonight. Braun's going to Raw, so if anything happens in the future, they get Corbin back onto the main roster. They could easily be a main roster tag team, which is fucking cool right there. That's a nice setup. That's a nice setup.
Automatic. We could get that. We also got to see Lyra Valkyria retaining her women's championship against Roxanne Perez.
That was nice.
It was crazy because Roxanne Perez looked great in this match. The sunset flip,
yeah,
crazy match. But during that match, we also seen Lola Vice cashing in her contract, her breakout tournament contract, and it became a triple threat.
That made it even more better, bro.
Mind you, Lola Vice is still fresh into this wrestling gig. You know, she's a former MMA, UFC fighter who just recently turned pro wrestler and looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I didn't know that until King Rascal told me about that shit, man. That was fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, you know?
Like, just to have this talent coming in, and especially, obviously going to wind up in WWE. It's always good to have that background. One match that was fucking really underrated, which was really entertaining, was that Dijak versus Gacy match.
It was a fun match. That was a fun match to watch.
I call it hardcore match, bro. I don't know what they called it, but I call it a hardcore match.
When he threw
that
Gacy,
shit was all over the place. Gacy, bro. Like, I was all saying this. I was like, Why are you gonna have this guy wrestle regular matches? This guy's a whole gimmick, bro. Let him fucking do his thing. Let him cook, bro.
Let
That's
him
what
cook.
he would do in the Indies. Like, you're getting paid so much money in the Indies, and you don't let him do what he did in the Indies. Like, now they're letting him cook, bro. So,
Mhm.
you know, Gacy's gonna be a badass, a big factor in the future for sure. Like, now that we saw that, and his team is crazy too, bro. Like, Bray Wyatt for real is
Bray Wyatt for
is
real.
proud of this guy for sure.
Well, the match that I was actually intrigued to watch the entire night, aside from Trick and Ilya Obafemi against Dragon Lee.
Yes,
Yo,
man.
from everything from the, mind you, he's only had 6 matches in ring.
Yeah,
The presentation, the
how
entrance,
good he is, bro.
he's
And
fucking crazy.
another thing, Oos, is I mean, my bro King Resco called it. He was like, you know it. Sorry, the Zack Ryder song came on. Obafemi, bro, he said that he reminded him of Ahmed Johnson. Shout out to Ahmed Johnson. That guy was a beast.
Oh,
Just
most
like
definitely.
Ahmed Johnson, I do compare him to Ezekiel Jackson as well.
The Nigerian Ahmed Johnson is crazy.
Such a, you know, that guy is a presence. Like, I feel like this guy is gonna win a major title in WWE. That's legit. Like, he's gonna be a better Kofi Kingston for sure, man.
100%, dude. I think he's
Oh
everything that
man.
Apollo Crews wanted to be.
You know, also too. Oh yeah, Apollo Crews. Yeah. What happened to Apollo Crews, anyways? But you know what? I'm just like fuck Omos and fuck that other fucking dude from TNA. What's his Moose? Bro,
Moose.
that guy is horrible in promos. Let me just
He
say that.
is. He
Horrible.
really
Like,
is.
he has like this boot. Like, bro, it's horrible. Like, stop letting him talk, bro. It's embarrassing. I just like I'm done with that.
It is, bro. It's
Like, fuck that
embarrassing.
guy coming to WWE. I hope not. We got
Yeah.
Obafemi.
Let's roll into the main event. We talk about a crazy fucking match. We got to see Trick Williams coming out, whoop that Trick
Whoa.
against in a hard hitting match against Ilya Dragunov.
Man,
Which to
such a
me,
great fucking match, man. Even to the point where you know, they had this relationship and these past episodes on NXT where, you know, they're just like cool with each other. Like Melo will get in because he was jealous and blaming Dragunov and all this bullshit. And you know, it was just all about that, like paying respect to each other. And you saw that one spot where like fucking I think Trick hits him hard or something, and he's just like Dragunov's like trying to play with them, whatever, and then fucking Trick hits him like even harder. And then from there,
yeah,
he's like, oh, okay, motherfucker. And that's when Dragunov's like giving it to him. Like, that's the shit that AEW is missing, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is WWE. They know what the fuck they're doing. And shit like that, man. This is just NXT. That shit was wild. Like, just to see this match and little storyline action, it had it all, man. I was in it, and
you're
man,
into it. You're into
I
it.
cannot wait to see these motherfuckers, these guys, all three of these guys that were working this match. Melo, Dragunov, Trick Williams, main roster immediately, bro.
Immediately.
Let's
Let's talk
go.
about the finale. You know, Trick, bloody in the mouth.
Tell us, Zeus.
He's defeated. You know, the only thing he wants is the support and the help from his best friend. You know, to walk him backstage, to be by his side. And what happens? The inevitable. Trick motherfucking Williams gets sabotaged and gets stabbed in the back by him. Carmelo Hayes takes out the knee and starts fucking his leg up.
Bro, with the chair shots.
shot.
You know what that reminded me of? Kind of like that DX with Triple H giving Shawn Michaels the pedigree, where when they're about to get DX back together.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's right there that I saw. And another thing was WrestleMania 17, where Stone Cold's just hitting The Rock with the chair over and
Mhm.
over and over again, like like even Mello was doing those fucking chair shots like that Steve Austin was doing. Remember, with just straight
Yep.
down at the leg, and that shit
Straight
was
down.
wild too. Another thing, King Resco pointed out was the jacket that Mello was wearing. Like it was kind of the jacket that Shawn Michaels had when he turned on Marty Jannetty with that, that super kick, and then threw him into
The
the
barbershop.
glass. Yes, sir.
NXT over AEW 1000%. And I'm saying that
Wow, bro.
because the storylines in NXT make sense. AEW has good storylines, but random matches against random people sometimes just don't make sense to me. When
Yeah,
you
same.
have hot talent from all around the world and you surprisingly put them into matches and like, oh, last minute, like, oh, tonight we're gonna have El Hijo de Vikingo versus blah 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 blah. And it's like, what the fuck?
Oh man, I
Like,
know. You know what I mean? Like, and for one reason, you decide to bring in Jeff Hardy and RVD for some good matches. Like, oh fucking late guy, what the like? What's wrong with this guy, bro? Like, he thinks that he knows his shit or what?
to me, I think Tony Khan is just
He should have
blinded.
been this year. He should have been bad Booker of the Year for real, because that
Most definitely.
bullshit from last year. I don't know how he won that.
I think what Tony Khan does, and hear me out, I hope we don't get fucking banned on YouTube because of this. But what I think is Tony Khan goes to his plug, picks up an 8 ball of cocaine, and fucking makes about maybe 20 to 30 fucking slim lines, and he has a pen and paper next to him with the roster in front of him, does a line and just fucking blindly picks 2 names and then puts it on a fucking piece of paper.
Yeah, well,
And then
he's
he
doing.
goes, "This is the best shit ever."
Okay, Oos, he's doing that while he's playing that fucking GM mode or whatever that shit's called on
That's
that.
that's what this is. This
They
is fucking
said
GM
that.
mode.
Plays that game
Bro, this is
just so he could book his show. Like that
this
is
is GM
insane.
mode in real life. Like
Like
I'm telling
you know what? You know what's so funny? I bet you he even uses a stamina. Like, oh man, this guy got injured, so I gotta have him on the. He's on red bar. Like, how do you? Oh my god, bro! Like, I don't know. I'm done. I'm done with this guy.
I'm gonna give you a huge fucking example of how this guy hot shot fucking books, and we're gonna look at
hot shot booking, exactly.
hot shot booking. Like, bro, like I'll give it to you right now. I'll give you a prime example from this past weekend, or from this past week. Let's go to AEW Dynamite. Fucking, like you said, fucking RVD wrestling on the card. Who did he wrestle on the card?
Swerve. Strickland.
He wrestled Swerve. Did anybody announce that RVD was going to be there? No.
Nobody.
Fucking
That's
nobody.
why, like, bro, like, yeah, it's a badass thing for the audience, but like, for the people on TV, like, I'm not playing around. The only reason I brought that match up, I saw the first hour, and after that, I saw some bullshit. I forgot what pissed me off that I saw, but I just did what I did. I did something else, and then later on that night, I saw that fucking RVD versus Swerve. I'm like, what the fuck? That match happened? I would have watched it on live TV. No,
that match happened.
That's the shit that pisses. Yeah, you're right, Oos.
On a random Dynamite.
That pisses me off now. Okay, you're right, man. 100%.
Let's talk about another fucking example, right? We had Edge versus Minoru Suzuki.
Edge was wrestling in that Dynamite this week.
No, this is I think it was last week.
Collision?
No, it was Adam Copeland versus Minoru Suzuki. It was on a random episode of Collision or Dynamite. I'm like, yo, if Tony just had some sense to build these fucking stories or build these matches up and announce it or
advertise it on live TV rather than your stupid social media where, I mean, you don't even have people on your, like, you like think about it. You have more haters on your social media than positive people. Those people aren't going to watch your shit. They're just there. So it makes it look like he has views. You know what I mean?
Right.
You should promote that shit on your live shit, then just be like, oh, I'm gonna put this on social media where everybody fucking hates you on Twitter, Instagram. You've seen it, man. You've seen it.
It seems like he just doesn't fucking. it seems like he doesn't care too much about what he puts on TV, but it also seems like he cares more about what people say about him or to him. Because my man's
But yeah, man, I kind of hate. He does get views somehow, but how the fuck did this year he lost? I mean, 2023, he lost all that money. We saw it, man. He didn't even make anything. Like he
he
lost
didn't.
money, bro.
He
So
lost money, bro. He as much as he wants to say that they're profitable, business people have dug into that whole in the red, in the green. I don't know none of that money shit, but I'm saying if you've got actual financial people on fucking many different platforms saying that AEW is not where they're supposed to be, where they're failing, that says a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
since we're talking about fucking AEW, what do you think about Samoa Joe? I feel like from what I seen, Oos, I feel like he looks more presentable. I feel he looks more I don't know, like man, I see a little Triple H in him, like the way he holds himself too with the I don't know if was he wearing a suit this past week? I'm not too sure, but like the way he presented himself looked way better than what he did in TNA. I think WWE changed him for the better.
mhm.
So I don't know, man. What do you think? Like compared to MJF or any previous uh wrestler from AEW in the past? Like,
I think Joe looks naturally fitting as a world champion.
yeah,
I just think that Joe is wasting his time in AEW. I he's we knew him as the face of TNA. We knew him as a guy who was in NXT, who was the face of NXT at one point. Couldn't get it on the main roster because he was consistently injured and being denied by WWE medics.
yeah.
But he's in AEW now, and I think he has the potential to be the face of AEW. His run as AEW
That's
World Champion, the fucking promos, the presentation, everything about Samoa Joe in AEW is fucking awesome. I just think that I just hope that he doesn't get stalemated and he doesn't get too complacent with the way that he's being that Tony Khan is feeding him everything he wants in AEW. Because I still think Joe's got a lot of gas in the tank left, and I think that he could bring this same persona and the same hype back to WWE when the time is right. Right now is probably not the right time because if you're in WWE, you're being overshadowed by the Cody Rhodes story, Rock Roman, uh, a whole bunch of miscellaneous other storylines. Samoa Joe just needs to be patient, finish out his contract, come back to WWE. That's my thoughts on Samoa Joe.
I mean, definitely could happen because, like we've seen, this guy won a major title at every company he's been at,
Mm-hmm.
and
NXT, TNA.
to see him back in WWE, of course, he's a Triple H guy. See him back in WWE after his contract's up with AEW and win actually the real title. I could see that happening 100%. And with that world title just being there, that guy could easily win it, man. Just like Drew can win it. It's just that they just wanted to put something on Seth. But that
Right.
title is so available that anybody could fucking win that title. And that's the cool thing. Only thing that devalues that title is like we talked about it. It was like it has no history. They decided to wipe it clean. It has nothing to do with the original world title. But
Yep.
I mean, for what we've seen is Seth Rollins has held it for like what 260 something days.
It's time to cough it up, bud. Let's go ahead and let's get into our wrestling news of the week, my brother. What you got this week in wrestling?
I have nothing to say, but we'll talk about the whole Cody shit. And it's just like if he's gonna go for crippled Seth Rollins, if Seth Rollins wants to lose again for the fourth fucking time for this title, I mean Cody doesn't want nothing to do with that, bro. Like you just know. It's just like he won the Rumble and think about it. I bet you in his mind he was all thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna wrestle Roman." That's why he pointed at Roman, and just to tell you, "Oh, I'm gonna go and just give it to The Rock."
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree
Just
with these death threats and all that shit that was happening. Right? fucking King Rescue told me about that shit where like they were sending death threats to Ava, The Rock's daughter, fucking The Rock. You know what I mean? Like I don't agree with all of that
It's
bullshit.
chaos, man. It's absolutely chaos.
You know,
man.
I like the fact that we're doing The Rock versus Roman, but at the same time, like that promo that I got from Cody that past SmackDown, I was all thinking like, oh, I'm not gonna wrestle you at WrestleMania. So he didn't even say Seth too.
He
So
didn't.
what I'm thinking is, man, Elimination Chamber, Cody versus Roman, and Cody beats him with 70,000 fucking people there. I
If
mean,
that happens,
why the fuck not?
if that happens, I will fucking slam 6 tall boys.
you,
Not in a row, but I will
you,
fucking.
you know what? Oops, the thing that sucks about it, man. We're not gonna watch it live. I know our asses. We're not gonna do it.
I'm not
That
waking
shit
up at
starts at 4 a.m.
I'm not
our
doing
time.
it. I'm not doing
5 a.m. your time.
If
On a weekend, on a Saturday.
If
So
we
I'm,
get
you know what? I'm not gonna look at my phone. I'm just gonna be like, bro, I'm gonna watch this sometime. I'm not gonna look at my phone and then play that shit.
I'm gonna wake up, have a nice breakfast, sit in front of me, and I'm gonna press
There
play.
you go.
I'm gonna turn my phone
There you
off.
go. There you
Turn my
go.
phone off and then push my phone to the side and be like, you know what I mean? Not right now. Until the fucking pay per view is over.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's how we're gonna watch that fucking paper. The biggest that we could think about. Oh man, 70,000 people, and we're just fucking eating breakfast
Yeah,
and watching it on our phones. Exactly, Oos.
100%.
But that was my wrestling news. What you got, Oos?
The only wrestling news I've got is there was a vignette that played during NXT deadline, NXT Vengeance Day,
Oh yeah,
of a Japanese old quote that said, "A man has 3 faces: a face that he shows,
yeah.
I guess, the world; the face that he shows his family; and the face that no one sees, that's pure evil." And now, if we think about it, right, the Japanese proverb speaking of a man with 3 faces. Not being racist, not trying to say this is it's a whole racial thing. There's only one Japanese guy who's on the market right now
Yeah.
that
Oh my
everyone seems to
god,
be,
bro. You know what? I didn't even think about that at all. But man, hell yeah, Oos, you
there's
caught it,
one
bro.
Japanese star on the
Oh
market
motherfucking
who also
Kata, man. Let's
he also has
go.
been rumored to be, if he did come to WWE, he was going to head to NXT first, which a lot of people disagree with because he's a main roster kind of guy. But if we think about it, if you're trying to elevate NXT and make it into the global brand it once was, why not bring the face of Japan, put him in NXT, let him run crazy in NXT, get adapted to the American culture by living in Florida and not having to travel the world yet, but let him legitimize that fucking NXT championship. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Like, let's see
Bro,
what's
I
gonna
was
happen.
even telling King, man, he talks good English. Like, this guy's a star. I mean, to say that fucking TNA had him at one point, bro, and they fucking put him they put a black mask on him and, all this bullshit to now the Rainmaker going to WWE. It has to happen, man. I don't care what, man.
It
He
has to
has to
happen.
come to WWE. He deserves better, especially being one of the guys, the best matches with Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom. Those matches were fucking insane, man. I see both of them a big star because of that match.
We're talking about Okada, who at one point was the #1 professional wrestler in the world by PWI.
Yeah.
It's crazy. If that happens, it happens. But that
And a lengthy title reign in New Japan, especially for that fucking title. A lengthy title reign, which is impossible. That's like Brock Lesnar style. That's Brock Lesnar style.
All I need is just Okada.
Oh wait, I can't talk about him. They're treating him. They're treating him like Chris Benoit right now.
Vinnie Mac.
Oh, real quick, I'm gonna point this out only because I did hear this from King Resco. That have you noticed that every time that somebody attacks somebody from backstage, so and so, that you hear fucking pipes fall on the ground. Have you
I
noticed
have.
that? You have to, bro. Like every time, especially this NXT episode, we saw Roxanne go at it with uh who is it? I'm not sure. I'm not too sure who she went after, but she went after someone, and the pipes fell. Like, and the thing is that they didn't even touch the pipes. Like they just fell. And I'm just like, bro, like this shit never ends. The pipes will always be there. And when it happens, hopefully, like the crowd says, "Pipes, pipes,
Pipes.
pipes," or fucking chants the shit out of that. But and that also that main event from the Vengeance Day, Dragunov versus Trick Williams. My thing was after that fucking matches, after everything that happened and the way Dragunov was busted, I said Dragunov is a fucking machine, man. He reminds me from Rocky. You know that fucking what's his name? Fucking
Apollo Creed.
from Rocky 4.
Oh, fucking Ivan.
I
Drag.
That's why I didn't want to say that either, Oos, because it would sound such like Dragunov from
Ivan Drago.
NXT.
Drago.
Drago, there you go. That I didn't want to sound stupid. So
If he
Dragunov,
dies, he
Drago,
dies.
he's just a little version of him. Like the
Mm.
way he's built. I'm followed to this guy, and the workouts that he does are crazy, bro. Like they're just like this Russian motherfucker, bro, in the movie Rocky 4, and that's just fictional. This guy is the real life of that.
He is, dude.
You turned me around to him like the way you said it, and I've seen him before too. Like when he was doing those NXT appearances for the UK in 2017, and this guy had the red eyes and all that shit, bro. Like that's crazy. Like I did like all of that, but like I said, he's a machine, man. I can't wait till he ends uh Gunther's Intercontinental
Yep.
streak,
I can't
which
wait.
he did with that NXT UK title.
Mm-hmm. He did, brother.
So I think that's the only guy that could get him, bro. If it's not Jey Uso, then it has to be dragging
It is
off into the
Dragunov.
main roster. Yeah.
Most definitely.
And
But
then
ladies-
what if it happened in that Russian pay-per-view too? That's coming up.
Oh, at Bash of Berlin. Would be
Yeah.
crazy.
What man? What if?
What if?
But
Guess we just gotta wait around to see, fellas.
man, that's how we did it, man. A whole hour of straight talkage. One last thing, Oos, I gotta hear your true opinion. What do you think about The Rock? What do you think about Roman? What do you think about Cody right now?
I love The Rock. I'll always be a fan of The Rock. I just don't think that having him wrestle Roman for the title is right. Roman Reigns is a great fucking talent, probably one of the most, I wouldn't say the best wrestlers in the world, but I'd say he's one of the best. The aura and the presentation of him is probably one of the best in the world. He's great on the mic. He's a draw, one of the biggest draws in the world. Cody Rhodes is the most glorified wrestler in the world right now. There's nobody on planet Earth who's a professional wrestler that's as big as Cody Rhodes in terms of the projection of where he can be. Because it seems like the road that he's on, all roads lead to the face of professional wrestling, not just WWE. But I say they continue to project Cody Rhodes and build him up in the way that they're doing. Play this Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30 style story you got going on with him. It's everything that you have with him. You got the John Cena presentation. He's hitting records in terms of merchandise. The request to have him be the main event, it shows Cody Rhodes is the face of WWE, whether anybody is ready for it or not.
100%.
But
I agree.
I think he's going to be the biggest star in professional wrestling within the next year or so, and it's going to be done in WWE.
Probably like the best Hulk Hogan, John Cena baby face of all time. Like
I think he's going to be
way better than John Cena. Way better.
He's going to be but he's going to surpass Cena. He's going to surpass Hogan. Cody Rhodes is, like I said, Cody Rhodes is going to be the most prestigious professional wrestler.
What do you think they're making it so hard, bro? And tonight we saw that after that match with Shinsuke, bro, this guy just got attacked by Drew McIntyre. How hard, bro? That, you know what I mean? Like, hard times, isn't it? That isn't the story.
It's hard
The
times. And
story is awesome for Cody Rhodes, man. Especially so much love. That's a lot of love in the wrestling industry because you're basically getting what Shawn Michaels always said. Like, if you don't have a storyline, then what do you have? And I love that he said that. And that's what Cody is getting weekly, bro. Not even monthly, weekly.
getting
So
storyline
it's
after
just
storyline
like,
is meaningful.
yeah, exactly. Storyline after storyline. Ah, shit, man. I'm like churches right now. I'm loving it.
Loving it. But ladies and gentlemen, it's episode 51 of
right
Wrestling News and Fucking Booze. Tune in
at
next
the
week.
hour.
Right at the hour. Tune in next week, episode 52, where we come to you live with results of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and Dynamite. Same place, same time. Stay too fucking sweet and spike your motherfucker.
Spike your hair like you just don't care.